Welcome to the NV Energy Solar PV and Energy Storage Incentive Application Training video. Today we will be presenting the steps required to fill out an incentive application for solar and battery projects to be installed in the NV Energy service areas. The application is found in PowerClerk via the website address shown above, nvenetmeter.powerclerk.com. After creating a user account and logging into PowerClerk, this is the welcome screen. This is where you begin a new application by selecting one of the four blue New Application buttons. New Incentive Renewable Energy Application. You would click this button to start a new solar PV incentive application, which can include an energy storage component but doesn't have to. There's also the New Energy Storage Application. You would click this button to start a new energy storage application without a solar generation component. There is also the New Non-Incentive Renewable Energy Application, and you would click this button to start a new solar PV non-incentive application, which can include an energy storage component but doesn't have to. The new LICIP application is available for properties eligible for the Federal Low-Income Housing Tax Credit or a business or entity not eligible for LIHTC but does serve low-income individuals. This demonstration will cover only the New Incentive Renewable Energy application. So click that button to start an application. The first page of the application is an introduction page with important reminders and information. Customers who participate in the Solar Generations Incentive Program will be automatically enrolled in net metering through the incentive program. Incentivized customers must transfer the portfolio energy credits generated by their system to NV Energy. Remember to include with your application a recent copy of the NV Energy customer's utility bill, a copy of the installation agreement between the service provider or installer and the NV Energy customer. The contractor agreement must include names and signatures of the NV Energy host customer on the application and the installer. Host customer's name on the contract or agreement must match the name on the application and the NV Energy utility bill. The contract also needs to include the complete physical address of the installation and the system wattage or expected energy of the system or other clear indication of the proposed system size. And for applications with solar and energy storage systems, the contract must also include the power capacity or energy capacity of the energy storage system or some other clear indication of the proposed storage system size. Also, a site plan and one-line diagram is required. The site plan is a top-down visual layout of the installation site. It should show the location of all relevant system components, including the solar system panels, the energy storage system, any and all inverters, disconnect switches, any and all meters, main service electrical panel, and any electrical subpanels. Any access issues should be indicated on the site plan. This could include, but is not limited to, walls, gates, or equipment installed inside buildings or structures that are not easily accessible. For AC-coupled solar and energy storage integrated systems, there should be at least 2 inverters included on the site plan. All utility meters and disconnect switches shall be located on the exterior of the building or in an electrical supply room that is easily accessible to NV Energy personnel. The appropriate number of meters and disconnect switches should be included in the site plan and technical diagrams depending on the systems and system configurations. The line diagram must show the electrical connections for all relevant electrical systems on site. This would include any existing or previously installed renewable generation, distributed generation, or energy storage equipment, in addition to any ancillary equipment. For all included electrical systems should also be provided. This includes inverters, energy storage systems or battery modules, renewable energy systems, or others. Please be sure to have all your documents ready to upload into the application. Let's go ahead and click the next button, and on page 2 The application is for filling out the basic project information and the contact information for the applicant. The project description is the first field to make a selection. Retrofit, selecting this means that you are installing renewable technology on an existing building. New building. Selecting new building means you are installing renewable technology on new construction and there is no utility account with NV Energy existing at this address. And then system expansion. Selecting system expansion means you are installing an expansion to an existing solar PV installation. For this demonstration, we will choose retrofit. Renewable technology is the next field to make a selection. This demonstration will focus on solar PV projects. However, NV Energy does have programs for wind, hydro, and geothermal. Please look on our website for more information about these programs. Continuing down page 2, the next section is for filling out the applicant content information. The applicant is you, the party responsible for preparing the application and the incentive claim package in NV Energy's application portal. Please be sure that your telephone number and email are correct, as this is how we will reach you in case of questions. Once you have filled in all the required fields, click Next. Page 3 of the application is for filling out the host customer's utility account and contact information. The utility bill contains the host customer's account number, premise number, and meter number. Please enter them here exactly as shown on the utility bill. For the meter number, please enter all letters and numbers capitalized with no spaces. Throughout the application, you will see these blue question marks. You can click on these icons to open more information about that field. To close the information box, click the X. Then you'll need to select which service territory the project is occurring in. Our northern service territory includes Reno, Battle Mountain, Carson City, Elko, Fallon, Hawthorne, Lovelock, Minden-Gardnerville, Tonopah, Winnemucca, and Yerington. Our southern service territory includes Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, Laughlin, Searchlight, and unincorporated Clark County. For this demonstration, we will be in the south, and the next field to select is the customer type. Most applications are residential customer type. However, small and large commercial customers can be identified on their utility bill. Non-residential customers in rate classes GS, GS1 or smaller, including irrigation rate classes, are called small commercial. Non-residential customers in rate classes GS2, LGS1 or larger are called large commercial industrial. Other customer types must provide additional documentation. Customers who demonstrate eligibility by submitting evidence of one of the following can be classified as low-income nonprofit: ownership of publicly subsidized housing, IRS 501c3 status, qualification for federal low-income housing tax credit, annual household income does not exceed the low-income limits or 80% of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's most current income limits documentation data. For this demonstration, we are selecting residential. The next section for entering host customer last name and street number will be used to auto-populate the customer's full name and installation address into the application. The last name must be typed here exactly and match the last name on the NV Energy bill. Persons listed as co-applicants on the NV Energy bill may apply as the host customer, but please first use the primary account holder's last name and street number to populate the host customer address. Only enter the street number, not the street name, and then click on Send. So sometimes when you hit Send, the account number is telling us here that it was incorrect, which we actually did that on purpose because we're using fictitious numbers. So that's okay. Other times when you hit Send, it may give you a window that says could not connect to the server. When you get that message, say OK and then hit Send again. And you may have to do that multiple times. As long as all of your numbers are entered in exactly, it will eventually pull up the contact information for the host customer. Because our information is fictitious, we're going to manually fill out the host customer information. So we'll put in a fictitious name, address, etc. One reminder might be if the data is not populating for the host customer, you may have entered your information incorrectly, so just double check that before moving forward. And then continuing down page 3. No, you're on 4?
Yep, went too far.
Okay, stop. We'll have to start again. That you can leave.
Yeah.
We'll just start at page 4.
Okay.
Page 4 of the application is for filling out the system owner contact information. System owner is the owner of the generating system or energy storage device when the incentive is paid. The system owner may be the NV Energy host customer or a third party as designated by the host customer. Systems that are on a leasing agreement, a lease-to-own arrangement, or a power purchase agreement are owned by the leasing company or the company providing the power purchase agreement. Therefore, those entities are considered the third-party system owner. A third-party system owner is a system owner who is not the NV Energy host customer. If the system owner is the host customer, you can use the drop-down to select host customer, and it will populate that information for you automatically. If the system owner were the applicant, you could as well choose applicant from that list. After completing all the fields, click Next. Page 5 of the application is for filling out information about the installer and the seller. The installer is the Nevada licensed electrical contractor who performs the installation and system interconnection. If the installer is the same as applicant, you can select from the drop-down for the automated fill of information. Otherwise, type in installer information manually. Installations must be permitted through the local building authority, and interconnections must be performed by a Nevada licensed C2 electrical contractor. For solar installations, a C2 or C2G licensed contractor is acceptable. Fill in the installer's Nevada contractor's license number and license expiration date, then check the box to confirm that the installer holds a current Nevada license. Continuing down page 5, the seller is the party that sells or leases the system to the host customer. If the seller is same as the applicant, then select from the drop-down for automated fill-in of that information. Otherwise, you'll have to manually type in the seller information. For an important note, if the installer is different than the seller, then the installer must sign the contract that is attached to the application. So please keep that in mind if the installer is different than the seller. After completing all required fields, click Next. Page 6 of the application is for filling out the project details. Enter your expected date of project completion. Enter the number of NVE rec meters. This is the number of the NV Energy incentive meters to install. These meters are needed to measure the renewable energy generated by the solar system. These are installed in new meter sockets on the dedicated solar or other renewable breakers. This does not include the bidirectional billing meter on the service panel. If there are any access issues such as dogs, locked gate, or breaker in the garage, please indicate that here. If more than one of these apply, please select Other or more than one of the above. Answer yes or no if you are using solar-ready breaker panels. If a solar-ready service panel is being used, then on-site generation will be connected via a second parallel main breaker in the service panel that is installed by the service panel manufacturer at the factory. The single line diagram is required for solar-ready panels and will be uploaded later in the application. The line diagram should show the part numbers for the main service panel and connection kit such as lug kits, so we can verify the part used for the connection is approved by the manufacturer for use on the service panel. If you need to disconnect utility power from the service, you will need to submit a temporary disconnect/reconnect, and you can request that form here. And then answer yes or no if the main service line side bus will be tapped instead of installing a dedicated breaker. If the main service line side bus will be tapped, then additional paperwork will be required to ensure UL safety ratings are not invalidated. This paperwork will be asked to be submitted with the incentive claim package at a later date. Continuing down page 6, please enter the AC disconnect manufacturer, model, and current rating in amps. Continuing on down page 6, enter inverter quantity, then select manufacturer and model of the inverter. Then enter the quantity of panels in the array. Select the manufacturer of the panels and the model of the panels. Enter tilt angle, azimuth, and any applicable shading for each month of the year. 100 or blank indicates no shading on the panels. After completing this information, you can add additional arrays for that inverter by clicking on the Add Array button, or you can add additional inverters and additional arrays for the new inverter if you click on Add Inverter. Once all inverters and arrays are entered, then click on the Calculate button. After clicking on the Calculate button, the application will provide the system rating and design factor. The effective estimated annual production is the calculated estimated production of the proposed system. In this example, it is 8,739 kilowatt hours. The effective system size is the kW CEC AC size of the proposed system. In this example, it is 4.991 kW. PowerClerk will calculate a customer's history if they have at least 12 months of service and populates the field titled NV Energy Automatic Calculated 12-Month Energy History in kWh. Because we used fictitious information in this application, that number was not populated, but we'll put 8,500 just for an example. So one of these two numbers, the effective estimated annual production or the effective system size, will be used to determine if the system is an allowable size. The host customer's consumption history at this address is the primary method used to determine size. Compare the number in this example of the effective estimated annual production to the NV Energy Automatic Calculated 12-Month Energy History. In this example, your proposed system size is larger than the customer's annual consumption history, and that would not be approved. However, we're going to show you some different options for sizing that you can use. Option 1 is sizing with less than 12 months of consumption. Sometimes a customer can have historical consumption that is less than 12 months, but if it's enough to approve the system size they want, we will accept it. For example, if a customer has 9 months of utility bills and their consumption equals an amount higher than your estimated annual production, you could use that amount and enter that number in the NV Energy automatic calculated 12-month energy history. You could also use an engineer's calculation. The calculation can be used to prove square footage or estimate annual energy usage based on a professional licensed electrical engineer's assessment of the property and renewable equipment. You would enter the total kWh estimated by the engineer into the engineer's calculated 12-month energy usage field, and then later you will upload the engineer's calculation document as proof. That document will need to be signed by the engineer. It must include the installation address and the name of the host customer in the application. In this example, we will use an engineer's calculation to justify a higher system size, and we'll enter that amount here. If using this message, be sure to select engineer's estimate in the renewable system sizing method field. Very good. Another option is to use the square foot method. If using this method, you will need to fill out the livable square footage of a home or business. Livable means any indoor square footage that is occupied regularly. This excludes garages, patios, and other similar areas. The square footage is most typically found on a tax assessor's report, and supporting documentation can be downloaded from the tax assessor's website so that you can then upload it later in the application under Evidence of Living Area on the Documents page. This will be required if you're using this method. So you would enter the total livable square footage in this field and then take that number and multiply it by 0.0028 for Southern Nevada projects or 0.002 for Northern Nevada projects. This calculation will give you the amount to enter into the field titled Estimated Power kW calculated from livable square footage. I think 2,000 times 0.0028 equals 5.6. In this circumstance, I do believe that would justify that size. Yes, it would. We check that against the effective system size or the kWCECAC, which is the same thing. For the purpose of this demonstration, however, we are going to use the engineer's estimate, so we will delete that information. Very good. And I want to tell you one more way that you can size a system. One more example is that you may be doing a system expansion. So in that case, you will need your customer's historical bills so that you can add up all of the kWhn that is identified on that bill for each month in a 12-month period, and you would enter that result in the NV Energy automatic calculated 12-month energy history field. And then you would select consumption history for your sizing method. So anytime we're using consumption history, whether it's a system expansion or a less than 12 months consumption or consumption that was generated automatically by PowerClerk, you would select the consumption method up above there. So just wanted to make sure you don't forget to fill that out once you've decided which way you're going to size your system. Okay, so once you've made that decision, just make sure that the system is not oversized compared to your proposed system size, then check the box to confirm that it will provide less than or equal to 100% of the customer's energy needs. So the next question is, are you installing energy storage as part of this project? If the answer is no, then select no and click next. If the answer is yes, then select yes and more fields will open for you to fill out. So you want to read each question very carefully and answer appropriately. So are you applying for an energy storage incentive as part of this project? Yes. Please select the type of energy storage system. We're going to select battery. The number of batteries installed will be 1. The energy storage device manufacturer, we're just going to make that up. Energy storage device model, we're going to put a fictitious model number in there. Energy storage system AC inverter manufacturer, another fictitious name. Well, maybe not. And the energy storage system AC inverter model number. Then the next question is the energy storage system operating mode. Your choices are renewable only charging, grid only charging, and grid charge enabled. Renewable only charging and grid charge enabled are the only 2 operating modes that are eligible for an incentive. So we will select grid charge enabled for this project. Will the energy storage system be configured to operate as a backup energy source only? We're going to select no on that. And then we'll need to enter the capacity numbers that you will get from the energy storage technical documentation. You want to enter the system's energy capacity in kWh, the expected charge power capacity in kW, and the expected discharge power capacity in kW. The energy storage system sizing analysis is the next thing we're going to fill out. And all we need here is what the total renewable CEC-AC size is. For this particular project, it was 4.991. But we want you to be very careful to make sure if you're working on a project that is a system expansion, you will need to get the CEC-AC size of the original system that's already installed and add that CEC-AC size to the additional size that you're adding onto in this application. For the purpose of this demonstration, we're just using this proposed system. So then you can click Next. Page 7 of the application is for entering project costs and calculating the incentive. So first enter the project costs for the PV generator, then the inverters, then permitting fees, and balance of system costs. PV generator cost includes the cost of the tangible materials and labor for the installed system. Balance of system costs may include other equipment and design and engineering costs. Continuing down page 7, make sure you check the box to confirm that you warrant the truthfulness of the information provided above. You understand that you will be required to provide a copy of the invoices for the costs listed above should NV Energy request these documents for further verification. For the renewable system incentive calculation, currently we are at step 11. Please scroll down and choose step 11. This is the only step that is currently eligible. If the incorrect incentive is selected when the application is submitted, then the application will be rejected. Incentive amounts are estimates only. Actual incentive is determined by configuration of the completed system, and production-based incentive payments are determined by the measured system generation. So you want to select your rate, which is step 11, and then click Calculate Incentive, and then click Next. Page 8 of the application is for uploading required documents. The application must include a one-line diagram that shows the electrical connections for all relevant electrical systems on site. This would include any existing or previously installed renewable generation, distributed generation, or energy storage equipment, in addition to any ancillary components. To upload, click on Browse button to navigate to your computer's location where you have saved the one-line diagram and highlight the file and click Open. All files that are required will have the red star, so I want to make sure that you upload all documents that are required in this list. Page 8 of the application is for uploading required documents. The application must include a one-line diagram that shows the electrical connections for all relevant electrical systems on site. This would include any existing or previously installed renewable generation, distributed generation, or energy storage equipment, in addition to any ancillary components. To upload, click on Browse button to navigate to your computer's location where you have saved the one-line diagram. Highlight the file and click Open. If this project includes solar-ready breaker panels, then a specifications document is required. If energy storage is part of the application, then energy storage technical specifications, including any telecommunications, protocols, or equipment for all included electrical systems, is required. This includes inverters, energy storage systems, or battery modules, renewable energy systems, or others. Also, if energy storage is part of the application, then an energy storage AC inverter technical specification is also required. For retrofit or system expansion projects, a current utility bill is required. If this is a new build application, you are not required to upload a utility bill. For all projects, a contract is required. Common issues with contracts. PowerClerk application system size must match the system size listed in the installation contract. If the proposed system size in this application does not match the size identified in the contract, the application will be rejected. Host customer address in PowerClerk application must also match the installation address on the contract. The host customer named in the application must be listed on the contract, and they must sign the contract. Any contract in another language besides English must include a translated version of the contract in English. The translated English version does not need to be signed by the customer. The site plan must show the location of all relevant system components, including the solar system panels, the energy storage system, any and all inverters, disconnect switches, any and all meters, main service electrical panel, and any electrical subpanels. Any access issues should be indicated on the site plan. This could include, but is not limited to, walls, gates, or equipment installed inside buildings or structures that are not easily accessible. Engineering calculations are only needed if no historical consumption or if expanding existing consumption for electric vehicle or home addition. And the energy engineering calculations can be used in place of square footage, though not common. For the purpose of this demonstration, we are not going to upload the engineer calculations document so that we can show you what happens when your application is rejected. When all of your documents are uploaded, please click Next. If you are applying for an energy storage program incentive, you will need to complete an additional incentive energy storage form as part of this project application. This screen is reminding you that you will need to do that. You will see the additional form under Available Forms for this project once we submit this initial application. If you are applying for an energy storage program incentive, do not pay the application fee until you have completed the second energy storage form. Check the box to confirm that you have read and understand this information, then click Next. By execution of this application, the applicant certifies that the information contained in this document is true and complete and that the project meets all program eligibility requirements. The applicant affirms that they have the authority to install the system at the generating site or have obtained the permission of the legal owner of the project site to install the generating system. System owner and host customer shall at their own expense obtain and maintain all licenses and permits needed to perform work on the project. The host customer is the reservation holder and reserves the right to submit new project specifications, including a new applicant, installer, and system owner designations. Public entity applicants other than a corporation for public benefit or an Indian tribe attest that they will comply with all applicable provisions of NRS 338. And so on and so forth. Please check the box to confirm. You also have the choice to generate a document that will provide all of the information that you've entered into this application for a copy for you to keep. That may not work in the test environment. And then you may submit the application. This screen will appear if your information was submitted successfully. After clicking Continue, it will take you back to the Welcome screen where all your projects are listed, but you're not done yet. Since you have an energy storage component of this application, you must go back into that project and fill out the energy storage form. Click on the Begin button to open the energy storage application. Since you are filling out this form as part of a new incentive renewable generation application, many of these fields have been pre-filled out for you from that original application. So we primarily want to review most of that information and answer any questions that have not already been answered. So the first question that needs answered, is there already a renewable generator installed and operational on the building? The answer is no. Are you also applying for and installing a renewable generator for this project? Yes. Are you applying for an incentive rebate for that renewable generator? Yes. And confirming this is a retrofit project, then click Next. Page 2 of the application is for applicant information, which is already filled in. Simply review that all information is correct, then click Next. Page 3 of the application is for host customer information, which is already filled in. Simply review to confirm that all information is correct. Then at the bottom of the page, click Next. Page 4 of the application is for system owner information, which is already filled in. Please review that all information is correct, then click Next. And again, page 5 of the application is for the installer and seller information, which is already filled in. Please simply review that information to be correct and then click Next. Page 6 is for filling out information about the system. Read each question very carefully and answer accordingly. Note that some questions are already filled in from the previous application. So our first question is there a pre-existing NV Energy rec meter from a previously installed solar project? The answer is no. Are you using a solar-ready service panel? Oh, we're already a yes on that, so that's correct. That information looks good. Continuing down page 6 to the energy storage information, you must select whether this project is for small or large energy storage program. For the small energy storage program, the minimum power capacity for an energy storage system is 8 kilowatt hours. The maximum capacity is 1,000 kilowatts. But customers will only be incentivized up to 100 kilowatts. The energy storage device must be capable of being charged by at least 75% by the renewable energy source, meaning the solar PV system. For large energy storage program, the minimum power capacity rating for an energy storage system is 100 kilowatts. The maximum power capacity rating is 1,000 kilowatts. The energy storage device for a large energy storage program must be capable of being charged by at least 75% by a renewable energy source. So for this example, we're going to use small energy storage program. Then the next question is, does the host customer wish to enroll into a time of use rate? If so, please select which rate. If you are not sure which one to select, you can first select each one in the list, which will open more information, and then you can read about what each choice means. So no TOU means the host customer does not have a time of use rate and does not wish to enroll in time of use rate. The next option, TOU non-HEV, the host customer wishes to enroll into a time of use rate and does not possess a hybrid electric vehicle. The host customer will be required to sign an attestation of enrollment to be submitted with the incentive claim package later. The next selection is TOU HEV. This means the host customer possesses a qualified hybrid electric vehicle and wishes to enroll into the time of use hybrid electric vehicle rate. The host customer will be required to sign an attestation of enrollment to be submitted with the incentive claim package. The last choice is existing TOU. The host customer is already enrolled in a time of use rate. We'll select that one. Some of the remaining fields below may already be filled in from previous application. For any blank fields, make sure you fill them all out. But this looks pretty good, so we'll hit next. Page 7. Please fill in the cost for the energy storage equipment and then fill in the cost for energy storage total installation costs, which would include the cost of equipment. Please check the box to confirm the accuracy of the costs and then click Next. Page 8 is for uploading the required documents, all of which are already uploaded, but you would want to just carefully check this list. Some of the questions that you answered earlier on earlier pages may have brought up another document that needs to be uploaded, so you just want to check that all of the documents that have a red star beside them do indeed have a document uploaded for that. Go ahead and click Next. Page 9 is a reminder to pay the application fee. You will receive another reminder via email after submitting this application. Check the box to confirm that you have read and acknowledged the application fee information provided above, and then click Next. Page 10 is the last page of the energy storage application. Please read the information provided and then check the box to confirm that all parties agree to the terms above. Again, you can generate a document that contains all the information you provided by clicking on the button titled Generate Document. Otherwise, go ahead and click Submit. Upon approval of an application, you will receive a submitted notification email. You will have 30 days to pay the application fee, which you can do so by clicking on the Speed Pay link, and that will take you to the website to make your application fee payment. This email is sent to the host customer, the applicant, the installer, and the seller. So please inform your sales staff to let their customers know that they will also receive notifications to pay the application fee, but that your company will be taking care of that, which is common. Obviously, don't tell them that if that's not the case, but normally the person filling out this application will pay the application fee. Upon review of NV Energy's review process, if any corrections are needed, you will receive an email that says Application Needs Correction. This email is sent to the applicant, host customer, installer, and system owner. Scrolling down the email, you will see it will show the corrections that are needed. In this example, we're just showing you a template, so there's not rejection notes in this email, but if you had an application that was rejected, you could see those reasons for rejection right there in the email. To make corrections, you would log back into PowerClerk, and from the main welcome page, open the project listed on the email by highlighting that project and then clicking on View Edit, and then click on the Edit or Continue button. You would only see the Continue button if you'd already opened it previously and then backed out and then try to get back in there later. The same correction notes that were provided in the email will also be visible in the application. So you would want to just carefully scroll through each page to look for correction notes. So we're just going to slowly go through the application. If you had corrections required, you would see them in these fields. But since we don't see anything, we're going to keep going to the next page. That one looks good. No corrections required on that one. Okay, here's our first note for corrections required. It says the system size is too large. The system size cannot be greater than 8,000 kWh solar PV system estimated annual production. And this is a different application than our example, but it's going to look similar. The choices that one can have when the system is oversized is to reduce the size of the proposed system in PowerClerk as well as the contract, or to upload an engineer's estimate to justify a larger system. And remember, we did not upload the engineer's estimate in that application on purpose because we wanted to show how to go back in there and upload what you need to correct an application. So scrolling down, we'll want to fill out, oh, looks like we've got a new field to go ahead and fill that out. Will there be any access issues? And then keep scrolling down to the renewable system size. So we remember that we were going to use the engineer estimate, right? So we know that it's larger than the 12-month history. So all of this information is still correct. We just need to figure out that we didn't upload the engineer's estimate, right? So we've looked at this and said, okay, well, we know it's bigger than the 12-month history because we have the engineer's calculation at 8,200. So let's go look at the engineers. Maybe they had a problem with that document. That would be on the additional documents page. Okay, we have more notes here too that says contract cannot be approved until system size approved, right? So if we can't approve the system size and the contract has to match the system size, we're not sure what it's going to be yet at this time, so we cannot approve the contract either. So your choices are either decreasing the system size in PowerClerk or providing the engineer's estimate for justification for a larger size. And so scrolling down, we can see that we did not provide that document. And we just need to get that in there. Just upload a fake document. Now the reviewers will see that you have an engineer's estimate and they will be able to approve the project. So you can go to the submit page and resubmit that project. If you have an energy storage application with this project, you will also need to open that application and review for any correction notes. Now we know that there aren't any issues with this application, but you still have to scroll through all the pages and double check that there aren't correction notes and submit this application. Until you do that, we will not receive the application for the secondary review. So please remember, if you have an application that has been rejected and it has an energy storage component, that you have to resubmit both of the two applications. assuming you've made all the corrections needed, then your application would be approved. You would receive an email titled Incentive Reservation. This will include the application project number, the host customer name, the installation address. It will give you the date of reservation. It will tell you that you have 1 year to submit the incentive claim package from the date of the reservation, and it will also tell you the kilowatt capacity for your proposed system size. And then down below it will show you the type of incentive, the rate, that step 11 would be in there, and your total incentive payment amount that is estimated will be in the reservation notice. So when you get one of these, it means that you can now install the renewable equipment. Congratulations! Your application was approved. After you have completed the installation and passed the building permit inspection, then it will be time to return to PowerClerk to fill out the incentive claim package for this project. Please look for the incentive claim package training video coming soon to our website. Thank you for your participation in this training. Please contact us at 866-786-3823 for more information, or you can email us at solarincentives@nvenergy.com.